Hello, everyone. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment saying where you're from and when you watched. That way, YouTube will continue to show you stories like this. Now, let's get started. Asterisk, I stood in front of the 13th step for a long time, breathing heavily as if I had just stepped through an invisible curtain that separated the real world from another dimension. Under the weak light of the flashlight, the cold stone surface beneath my feet seemed to vibrate slightly with each beat of my heart. I bent down and touched the step. The stone was as cold as ice, seeping through my fingertips. And then I stepped down. The 14th step slowly appeared, as if it only appeared when I decided to step forward. The dim light from the flashlight swept through layers of thick black moss and grooves of stone carved with strange symbols. I had never seen such writing before, but it made me feel a sense of familiarity, as if I had seen it in a dream. The air below was as thick as a thick layer of fog that settled in my throat. I turned on the auxiliary light and continued down 5 more steps. Then I stopped. In front of me was a giant stone wall blocking the path. On it was a grey stone door, more than 3 meters high, covered with characters like those on the stairs. In the center of the door was a long crack from the top down, as if something had been trapped inside and was trying to escape. Moved closer and touched the stone. Surface a faint echo echoed from inside, as if a giant object was moving in the darkness. I stepped back, my heart pounding, but I didn't take my eyes off the door. I whispered, "Who's there?" No one answered, but the crack in the door began to emit a faint red light. As if an ancient energy had been awakened by my presence, a whispering sound echoed from the cracks of the stone that spread through each layer of stairs and crept into my head. "Go ahead, Daniele." Tried to stay calm and reached for the time-worn stone handle. My hand touched the cold surface and pulled hard. A cold air poured out from inside like a breath that had just escaped after centuries of imprisonment. The stone door opened heavily, inch by inch. The screech of stone rubbing against stone was like the wail of a forgotten soul inside. Was a long hallway with no light. The walls on both sides were carved with figures with heads bowed, hands covering their faces or arms outstretched, asking for help. Some of the figures were deformed, as if melted or distorted by an unnameable fear. I stepped in. Each step echoed like an echo from another world, echoing back to the present. The flashlight's light gradually dimmed, not because of the battery, but because the surrounding space seemed to be swallowing the light. I felt like I was going deeper into someone's mind or my own. Then I heard a cry, a weak sob of a child. I followed the sound through the dark turns, my hand sliding across the damp stone wall. The hallway suddenly opened into a large round room with a high ceiling that disappeared into the darkness. In the middle of the room was a stone bed, and on it was a tattered old doll with tangled hair and hollowed out eyes. I approached, my heart pounding. Near the doll was an old, yellowed photo of the little girl Anna I had seen in the missing persons file. Suddenly, the door in front of behind me slammed shut, the light went out, a cold air rushed in from all directions. I heard hundreds of whispers calling my name from all over the place. I couldn't pinpoint the location. Daniele lit a flare, the red light flickered, illuminating the figures standing close to the wall. Their faces covered by black cloth. Trembling as if bound by their own memories, I backed away in panic, searching for a way out, but the wall where the door had just closed had now turned into a smooth, unmarked stone wall. Was trapped. I screamed in desperation for help, but my voice echoed back in a distorted, drawn-out echo. I knew I had crossed a line of no return. I was inside the space of the bottomless staircase. and it had closed the door behind MIT was an ancient trap, not meant to kill, but to keep watch. The next episode to find out what lives in the deepest reaches of the bottomless staircase and whether Daniel will find a way out or face the horrifying truth inside underground.